Hello, hello, hello. Once again, this is Jeremy Smith with Arc Design Labs, and today is another one of those 5 to 10 minute tutorials. And today we're going to go over importing CAD drawings to base your topo surface off of. This is another common question. How can I import my site into your Revit document so you can go ahead and get started with the site and put your building on top of it and things of that nature. So site. So in order to do that, we're going to start by going to the masking site. What you want to do is a topo surface. But when you come here, you get this message here that says you cannot see topographical elements, and that's because we're not on the site. So you should be on the site before you do anything. So go to site, then go to topo surface. What we want to do is do it from create from import. But we can't do that until we load in a 3D CAD drawing. So before we even go here, we need to import a CAD drawing. But first I wanted to show you guys how to edit that CAD drawing so that it is ready to be imported into Revit, because the lines actually have to have elevations and things of that nature for it to actually work as an import. If you do not change those things, it will come in flat, and when you import it, it'll be a flat drawing. It won't actually be a 3D surface. So what you need to do first is make sure that your CAD drawing actually has elevations on it. So I just made up some generic, contour lines here, all polylines. And what you need to do is ensure that your CAD drawing actually has elevations set up. So if you look here in the properties of this line, it says that the elevation is at 0, which is fine if that was a flat surface, but when they're all at 0, you're not really getting a clear reading of the topo surface. You're just getting lines. So what you have to do is, if you don't already have a 3D CAD drawing, which if you do, congratulations, you can just bring it straight in. But if you don't, then you need to come here and actually adjust elevation. So if you know this one's at 10 feet, you need to come in and tell it to be 10 feet in the CAD drawing before you even import it into Revit. So that one's going to say 10 feet. I'm just doing this all generically. Sorry, I gotta choose one at a time. Make this one 5 feet. This could get sort of repetitive if you have like a million lines, but it's still faster than drawing the lines yourself using a point system, which would be nice if Revit just allowed you to simply choose the lines, but it doesn't let you do that right now. So quickest way is to actually come in to CAD and just adjust the elevation on each of these lines. So we'll say you're at 0. We'll raise you up to 5 feet, just so you make this dramatic. Feet. And make this 1, 2 feet. Alright, so once you have set up all your lines at the correct elevations, then you can save that. Save it to my desktop, save. And now when we bring it into Revit, it will be correct. So now we go to insert. I'm going to go to import CAD. You could link it if you wanted to, but import CAD, I'm going to choose that one off my desktop, drawing 1, auto center to center. If you're just starting out your project, it doesn't matter where it goes, so just center to center should be good. Alright, and so there's that drawing I just created, and it's actually 3D lines, even though you can't tell right from this view. So once we have that imported, it's as simple as going to masking and site, topo surface, create from import, and I'm going to say select import. And so we hover over until we see the purple box and select it. It'll also switch layers. If you know exactly what layer the contour lines are on, then just choose those layers. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to choose all of them. It's a simple DWG, so it's not really going to hurt us too much, but you really need to know what layers that the contour lines are actually on, and just select those layers instead of all of these. Pretty sure they're probably all on 0, so let me just go ahead and select 0 and say OK. And it'll create that surface for you. Now after it creates that surface, you can simplify the surface. So say you had like a million lines, like a more complex site, you may want to simplify that surface so it's not as many points, which will also slow down your project. So you probably only want it within like if you do like a skyscraper, you probably want like 10 feet accuracy. If you're doing a sort of a small house, then maybe 3 inches is fine. So depending on your project size, you may want to change the accuracy of the topo surface, because it will copy those lines exactly. So if you have like crazy lines going like this, and it has like 1,000,000 points per line, it starts to become too large of a file and too complex, or just a simple, house you're trying to put on this landscape. So you can adjust that here. So if I change this to 10 feet, it'll be a lot less accurate. Say only a line only every 10 feet, which almost changes the entire surface. So you don't want to go that much. 1 foot typically is not too bad, depending on the project. But before you do that, we just undo this, give it back to where it was. Yeah, so maybe if you wanted to simplify it to even 1 foot, it's not really necessary because it's not really that complex. But if it is, then that would be where you would do that. You can also add more points after you're already done. Subtract some points, click the point, hit delete, we'll delete that point. You can also move these points after it's already been created. So it's still editable after you've imported it and used it. It's just a reference. You use it as a reference, and then you can change it from there as much as you want to. So that was pretty much that one. I guess that one really did take less than 5 minutes. Alright, so there you go. It's imported. You hit finish surface to be done with it. Then we can go to 3D and turn on shading with edges just so we can see where it is, and there you go. There's actually a 3D landscape there from imported CAD document, and that's how you do it. Alright, thanks. Bye.